Greetings, everybody. My name is Lonnie Perryman, also known as Lonnie Williams, and I am truly honored to be able to do this video for my sister friend, Cinda. I appreciate, first of all, the invitation to be able to kind of give you guys one of the life lessons that I've learned that actually was given to me. Just a little bit about myself. I currently reside in Augusta, Georgia. Keyword currently residing, meaning, Lord, if you allow me to leave, I'm gone, but I'll be obedient in the meantime. There's not much about me. I am a youth mentor as well as a licensed and ordained minister, and a mother of two. That's me. Simple. That's it. Okay, but let's just go ahead and get on with the life principle because I'm not a video person, as you guys can tell. So the life lesson or life principle that I've actually chosen, I had so many that I wanted to kind of start with. One, of course, I think everybody is the art of forgiveness. And I was like, oh, I could go on for days with that one. But I have 10 minutes, so I'm going to have to choose another one. And then I was just like, you know what? Everybody kind of does forgiveness. And I think forgiveness works differently for different people. And then, of course, there was self-love. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give the one that has stuck with me and continues to ride out with me, even though my current situation says differently. But it was, I don't even know what I should title it, but it's a life principle that my mother gave me in 2005. 2004, I had to remember when I got married. At one point, yes, I was married, but I remember my mother was ill, and as my mother was going through some physical transitions, I call her my miracle mommy. She was going through some transitions, and mentally she was not here with us. And it was a very difficult stage. And at that time, I was going through with my son's father, and I was like, I don't want to be living wrong. I don't want to be, living in a state of confusion. I want to be right. I don't want to do this shacking up thing. And I remember finally, I kind of gave him a little bit of ultimatum, and that's a whole nother story. That's another principle, but we won't touch with that one yet. But this principle that I remember my mother leaving me and not even truly being in her right mind, but her not even understanding the power behind it, was, Lonnie, go ahead and get married. But when you do, remember that you can't share any issues, or you can't talk about any issues that is within your marriage with any of your single sisters or any of your friends that have not experienced marriage before. And that rang with me because my sister, I come, it's four of us, four girls my dad had. So my sisters is my rock, my ride or dies. And it was just like, what do you mean I can't share nothing with them? Because I know if something go down, I can reach out to them and do whatever I need to do, to be able to, overcome any humps or obstacles. But when she said it, it made such great sense. And I'll tell you why. And a lot of us, we get caught up, and a lot of us, when we do take that oath or take that covenant into marriage, we don't understand. And a lot of us do have single friends and everything that are around us that we still, carry on with. And we don't want to leave our friends behind because, that's your friend's fear is, well, girl, when you go off and get married, you're going to forget about me. I don't want you forgetting about me. Don't become brand new. But you're starting a whole new life. You're starting a covenant bond with someone. You're becoming one with someone. And when my mother left me with that, again, like I said, mentally, she was not in her right mind, but she was, because that stuck with me. And I remember the first challenge when it came up was, there was an issue that arose. That's another story. But there was an issue that arose with some infidelity within my marriage, and not knowing who to turn to, and I'm by myself. I remember becoming so angry, and just I had to share it. Like, it wasn't that I had to share it, but I had to get it off me, and I needed somebody to go and handle it with me the way I wanted it to be handled. And so what did I do? I reached out to my single sisters. And so me reaching out to my single sisters, is just to narrow it down. It was, of course, they want to handle it the single way. Girl, drop him, da da da. Don't worry about your children. We got it. We got you. And not realizing I've become one with this man. So I need to stick by my vows. I need to stick by the covenant that I've made with him. So in that, some time progressed, and when you share, again, information with singles, and you're in a married situation, or you're in a relationship with someone, and you're in covenant with someone, especially, again, your marriage. Even right now, some of you may be just dating, and you're thinking about marriage and thinking about commitment and the whole, submission process. You have to understand that your single friends aren't going to give you the same information, give you the same bits of love, give you the same tidbits, the same encouragement as someone who has experienced it before, or someone who is currently in it, because you understand that it's just more than yourself. But your single friends, honey, they're going to want to handle it the way single friends do. And single friends, they're single. So they're like, hey, let's just drop him. Let's go get another. And that's not the way it works when you make a covenant bond with someone. And so unfortunately, that's where my sisters took it. The point my mother was making to me, though, was once you share that with them, there's going to be some point where now you've made up with your husband. And when you've made up, everybody else hasn't made up with them. Now they're holding that grudge over you. So now they come in, and you might have, go on, like me and my sisters, we was like, okay, let's just go to lunch. And still, to them, that issue was fresh, and it happened like years ago, and it was still fresh to them. And it was just like, girl, why you, I don't understand why you ain't even just leaving, because he's still taking you through this and that. And they were still living in the situation, still living in that moment of me sharing something that was sacred, although I was hurting, sharing it with them, opposed to sharing it with someone, me using the wisdom that had been imparted in me to be able to take it to someone else who, is married and understands what covenant and understands what oneness is. So that is a life principle that I take. Now, on the contrary of that, not even the contrary. When I finally realized, okay, Loni, you got to share and got to get yourself around married people, because your single sisters are going to keep thinking, girl, you still got it. Let's just, da-da-da. And you'll keep a single mindset instead of understanding, that, okay, I'm one with this man. But when I finally said, okay, you know what, they are really, honey, they ran into the grave. It is probably to this day, they still have not fully forgiven. Now, unfortunately, he is my ex-husband. But I tell you what, even with it being my ex-husband, I've learned so much, and I have so much wisdom that I've gained over just that relationship in itself. So much wisdom and things that I've had to force myself to sit down instead of whining, complaining about the hurt that I experienced. I had to say, you know what, Loni, if God was to bless you again with it, what you going to do differently? What did you learn from it? And so now, if somebody who is married comes to me, and although I'm single now, I can say, you know what, I experienced it and I know. And then I have to remember where my mind frame is at that time. Am I in a single woman's mind frame, or am I going to be able to encourage you as one who's been married, experienced it, and now knows it, and I want to be able to offer you words of wisdom? That's what we have to get around. So in a nutshell, ladies, my life principle to you is, if you're thinking about marriage, if you are currently married, remember who you're sharing your information with. Do not whatsoever reach out to your single friends, to your single sisters, to anybody. And please, don't reach out to no single man. Even a married man who's lonely and hurting. Don't do it. I'm trying to tell you. I can testify to that. That's a whole nother principle. But don't do it. Just reach out and trust and believe the process that God, that, you know, someone will come along that will be able to impart in you, that who has experienced marriage, who is currently married. Look for those routes of wisdom. And that's my life principle for you today. All right. Love you guys. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.